Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So we got, I wouldn't say breaking news, but news that has just been released. Donald Trump has pressured, and I would say he doesn't have to pressure. If Elise Stefanik is loyal to Trump, he would do it. She would do it. But Trump is saying that Elise Stefanik needs to go. Now, Elise Stefanik didn't do anything wrong. No. Donald Trump is honestly looking at the United States House of Representatives and he's saying, okay, it's not looking so good for Republicans right now. It's still looking tight, but Republicans are projected to win, according to NSC average, 221 seats. And that would be a net worth of 3 across the line. Republicans are projected to lose Iowa, 1 Iowa seat, and 1 Pennsylvania seat, including Northampton County, as well as a seat in Colorado, in which Republicans flipped in 2024. So yes, Republicans are projected to lose 3. They are allegedly going to gain 5. That gives them 221 seats. That's an advantage there, but it's going to be tight in these races. And the last thing you want is this seat, Elise Stefanik's seat. And that seat specifically putting the House of Representatives in jeopardy, specifically because that seat is, I wouldn't say it's a solid Republican seat. It is solid Republican. Trump won this seat by quite a lot. It is a solid Republican seat, but let's see. The 21st district. So you have this district right here, and which is a very solid Republican district. It is the 21st district. Let's check the 2025, excuse me, because a lot of people say, oh, this race is in jeopardy. Do you think Republicans could have won it without Elise Stefanik? I do think that is the case, but Republicans have struggled with low turnout. I have a hard time believing that Republicans aren't going to turn out in the said, no, hang on. I'm buffering again. I have a hard time believing that Republicans aren't going to turn out when it comes to the midterms. I think that seat would get the Republican, whoever that would be. And guess what? Elise Stefanik is clearly running for re-election, possibly, across the line in that said seat. The 21st district is pretty solid Republican. You already see projections saying it would be solid Republican. Over here, you'll see Elise Stefanik carried. Not only that, Essex County, that is a county that voted for Kamala Harris. Clinton County voted for Hillary Clinton, went to Trump in 2024, while Essex County voted for Donald Trump in 2016 and flipped to Harris in 2024. So it was kind of interesting to see there. 62%. So I really ideally have a hard time saying, a lot of people say, oh, Democrats could possibly get this seat. I'm like, that's probably not really the case. I'm mainly thinking Donald Trump, he's really looking from within, and he's saying, hey, look, there are not many good Republicans in the House of Representatives right now. A lot of them are weak. Mike Johnson, I like him personally, but he has some weaknesses, and those weaknesses have resulted him to having a couple close calls that a lot of Republicans will roll their eyes and just, of course, they would get very frustrated with him about that, and rightfully so. So obviously, I do feel that mainly Donald Trump said, hey, look, we need Elise back into the House of Representatives, mainly not because to keep this seat red, because this seat is going to go red regardless, whoever takes it. It's the projection from 2026, they made it clear, solid Republican, potential Elise Stefanik. Joe Pinion has there's Joe Pinion. He ran, of course, in the 2022 election. I think he would have won that seat pretty easily. But there's Anthony Constantino. but at least Stefanik hasn't really said if she would or not run for this seat. So I have a hard time believing that, oh, this seat is in big jeopardy. It's going Democratic. That's one big blue wall right here. But that's one rural area in which we got to remember Democrats are losing these rural areas. Sure, this district is smack right by liberal Vermont, a full border with Vermont. I get that, but we have all these conservatives over here. Ideally, only liberal areas are right up here. Those are like Clinton and Essex counties. Ideally, you have these counties that vote 60%. So I really doubt that Donald Trump was saying, oh, we need Elise Stefanik because she's the only gal or politician to win the seat. I doubt it. And I don't think Radio Politics is making that argument. I don't think anyone is making that argument. I'm thinking, okay, Donald Trump is mainly looking at this as a GOP faction perspective. Elise Stefanik, one of the rare, one of the greatest loyal allies in the said House of Representatives. Not really many rhinos, etc. But to have her leave to be U.S. ambassador, I think Donald Trump came to realize that, hey, you know what? There aren't really that many loyalists from the said district. Maybe Joe Pinion, but there are really no loyalists other than her talent in the House of Representatives. It's very similar to how Donald Trump decided to bypass Byron Donalds for a said cabinet position. I'm sure Byron would have loved a cabinet position, but Byron didn't take it personally. He realized that, hey, look, President Trump leaving me in the House of Representatives, he knows that this is basically a sign that he's basically telling me that I'm doing a good job in what I'm doing right now. He's keeping me in the House of Representatives. I must be doing a good job. I must be doing a good job representing him and help getting his agenda passed in the House of Representatives. So the Democrats want to boo-hoo, whine, and cry and get all butthurt and cry racism or whatever. They don't care about Byron Donalds, whatever. Saying that, oh, the administration's too white, blah, blah, they need Byron Donalds, you bypass Byron Donalds. Well, here, you got to play your cards correctly. Donald Trump played his cards correctly. He said that Byron needs to stay in. He said Byron needs to stay in the House of Representatives. And not to mention, he has his own plans. He's running for governor of Florida. Someone has to, of course, replace Ron DeSantis. He can't run for re-election. So, in order to do so, and a lot of people are turning to Byron Donalds. He's pretty much the America First candidate over there, along with the other Republican, blanking his name. But yes, but there's a lot of MAGA Republicans. Byron Donalds has become one of the most notable. And it's mainly because of his background. And his story. He has a good story. A young boy who was middle class. He was raised by a single parent. Byron Donalds got into some trouble apparently in his youth. He was arrested for smuggling drugs or something like that. And you know what? That life story, he realized from that story, this is a powerful story to teach other kids. Especially black kids with no dad, because Byron Donalds does care about the black nuclear family, and that's become a huge issue. And that's why a lot of people are attracted, especially African-American Republicans, they are attracted to Byron Donalds. And I don't care if he's black or not. I do think he shares an important message, because I do believe that there is a problem in the black community, as there are in other communities. But leadership has become a huge problem in the black community. Why do I care about the black community? I'm not part of the black community. Why should I care? Well, then why do you care? Why do you feel entitled to put a BLM sign on your yard? You're not black. And you're just proving because if we realize if African Americans, they strive, then the American people will strive. But it's most and how, but it's not. They're not going to strive by virtue signaling, by putting up these virtue signaling fake yard signs, BLM yard signs. No. That's not how you help them thrive. No. You start with, specifically, with the economy. You got to think of African-American people just like everyone else. You got to be colorblind, and the left hates it. No, you got to say Afro-Latinos matter, Afro-Caribbean people matter, Hispanic people matter. No, that's what's driving people apart. No more wokeness, no more DEI. DEI is also the problem because you're basically giving them unrealistic scapegoats that you don't need to work. I shouldn't work to get this job or get into the school. I should just walk up and expect to get the job because of my skin color. Because I feel my skin color gives me entitlement. That's not real life. We are all born different. I'm born with different colored eyes. I am born with different color hair. That doesn't get me into different programs. That doesn't get me into different institutions. That is real life. If you have a mouth, if you have eyes and ears, and if you have a human brain, then guess what? You are 100% capable and doing hard work. It will be hard. That's why it's called hard work. But hey, it's real life. So DEI is just a scapegoat. It is just an excuse. It's just it's virtue signaling and to give Democrats more power. And that's why they're so mad about it. I lost track, and it's mainly because we had to address the Byron Donalds running for governor and all that stuff. But you get what I'm saying. Elise Stefanik, her staying in the House of Representatives, Donald Trump, I wouldn't really necessarily see a problem either way, but Donald Trump, this is his administration. This is his future. This is his envision for the House of Representatives, not just for his administration, but also in the House of Representatives. And he feels things are going to get much done faster with Elise Stefanik. Donald Trump feels that Elise Stefanik has a talent. This is good news. MSNBC, let's see. MSNBC is acting all butthurt once again, and they don't care about Elise Stefanik at all. In fact, they've made a lot of defaming stories about her. But you got stories like Axios, basically saying, fallout coming for House GOP over Trump's rug pull on Stefanik. First off, I don't view this as a rug pull. Rug pull. They're saying that Donald Trump pulled the rug off of Elise Stefanik's feet. He pulled the mattress or the mat of glory off of Elise Stefanik. That's not what he did at all. Elise Stefanik knows very well that she has to abide by the president and what he has to believe in what's best. And honestly, Elise Stefanik, very loyal, by the way. She is very complimented. Just like I said about Byron Donalds. Donald Trump thinking that, hey, look, Stefanik, I think you're doing a great job in the House of Representatives. You've been doing a great job in the last couple of days because right now, I think Stefanik, I don't know if she's in the House right now or if I would imagine she is, because if she wasn't, then she would have to run in a special election. She is incumbent, which means she's still in the House of Representatives right now. And last couple of days, we've had a Doge Commission. I don't even know if she was a part of the Doge Commission. I doubt it. But Republicans have been pressing these woke mayors, these corrupt government biased officials, and Stefanik's one of them, who is not afraid to strike hard. And Trump deciding to keep Stefanik in the thin House majority, hey, it's Trump's judgment, and he thinks this is the best way through. I have nothing to think about it. I'm not the president, and really, this is not just the president's administration, but this is the president's House of Representatives and the President's Senate. Mainly because the House and the Senate has to get things done under his administration. So really, Donald Trump has an envision for the House and the Senate, and his envision would be best going on if Stefanik would stay in. So when it comes to this let's just say, decision that Donald Trump made, I think that it was a wise one. The liberal media wants to make it sound like Donald Trump broke his promise. No. Donald Trump didn't promise Elise Stefanik anything, and Elise Stefanik knows very well that she wasn't guaranteed that spot as UN ambassador. She knew that. Her name was on the list. She was probably the leading name on the list by like 60,000 points. But she knew that, guess what, things can change. Donald Trump didn't say, Elise, I want you to be the UN ambassador. He didn't say that. He probably said Elise Stefanik would be a good choice and probably consider having Elise Stefanik. He probably had her name in there. And there were speculations. She was never, ever sworn into that position. Now, if she was sworn in, then that would probably be different. But as long as she's not sworn in, she's still the potential perennial nominee. She has been not nominated by the House of Representatives, and I don't think she will. They don't do that to ambassadors. Donald Trump, the president, has to do it themselves. But if she was really chosen, she would have been sworn in. So the liberal media, they're making their rounds. They're saying Donald Trump broke his promise. No, he didn't. He didn't make any promise. Like I just said. This is just Democrat psyop. And Donald Trump, he's using his cards correctly. And the card of Elise Stefanik, he said, hey, Elise, you're doing an amazing job. I want you to stay in the House of Representatives. Just like he did with Byron Donalds. Everyone thought Byron Donalds would get a cabinet seat. Even I did. I was surprised Byron Donalds didn't get a cabinet seat. I was kind of disappointed. But then I realized, hey, you know what? Donald Trump agrees that Byron Donalds is doing an amazing job. And I think Byron Donalds agrees. And I think Byron Donalds would rather go with his agenda of running for governor and turning Florida into a MAGA state. It's not like it isn't a MAGA state, but the governor's office, which has been kind of lukewarm to Trump due to Ron DeSantis, to put a very stronger, much strong Trump ally like Byron Donalds in there. That would, of course, make a huge difference. But anyway, what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.